Hello, my mindful adventurers. Are you ready for your weekly dose of the blog post? My name is Jamila, and I will be your commander-in-chief, your guide, your everything here at a mindful adventure, because I am everything here at a mindful adventure, right? And this month, I'm welcoming you guys into this month. I'm excited for this week, obviously, but I'm welcoming you guys into this month because this month is all about zero fluff. We're cutting the fluff. There is no more how are you doing during the Saturday check-ins. It's just the prompt, because I need us to get cutthroat with ourselves. We need to get metal with ourselves. I've been watching a lot of Metal Apocalypse recently, Deathlock, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of that. Anyway, actually next week is funny. It's actually based off of me watching that. But anyway, this week, not this week, but the whole thing, this whole month is about radical alchemization, which is literally radically, so quickly and my brain wants to say violent, but that doesn't sound right. It's like quick and abrupt change, alchemization, taking what no longer works and changing into something that does work for us. So if that tells you anything, then you're here. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. I'm just a human, okay? I'm just a human. Anyway, this week though, we're talking about when your old coping when your old coping mechanisms, habits, or relationship dynamics suddenly stop working and start causing massive fiction. Because like that feels horrible. It feels like you're failing. It feels like there's something wrong with you. It feels like there's something that you're doing incorrectly. Like, yeah, there's something wrong with you, or you're doing something wrong. Oh, it's a swallowtail. I haven't seen a swallowtail here in a long time. Anyway, butterflies. We have so many butterflies around our house. Anyway. Oh, also at any point during this, if you feel like, hey, this is a little whatever, go ahead and check out the blog post. It's more direct. There's way more information. I spill my guts in there. This is like this is more of a hangout sesh, conversation style, but we're talking about the main points. So you'll get you'll get information in both spots, and of course, I'm going to talk about different things here than I do in the blog post. That's why you should be consuming these things together. The blog post is down below in the description. It is titled "Shedding Your Old Skin in the Fire." I mean, what is this video called? Let's talk about shedding your old skin in the fire. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So let's talk about the friction, right? The friction is literally your brain, right? So our brains hate change. Like they absolutely hate it, because way back when we were like living, like out in the jungle without, it's not actual jungle, but like we're living out in the woods, right? We're living out out in the wilderness, and we didn't have these big systems of protection and safety called massive fucking cities to protect us. And we had to stay in a group, and if we started doing things that were not with the group, we weren't conforming with the group, or if we were acting out, or if something suddenly changed, that means that there's a good chance that there's danger. And if we're acting differently than the group, and the group is like, hey, we don't fuck with that, you're exiled, there's a 99% chance that you're gonna fucking die. Because like it was literally a matter of life and death. So that's why change feels like a matter of life and death, and it really isn't anymore. We don't have to deal with that anymore. We have so many resources, we have so many things working for us, and we don't have to we don't have to fully depend on other people in order to take care of us, especially if we're grown adults, right? We don't have to worry about that. So your old habits are like well-worn paths, right? In a forest, like there's a straight path, like this road right here. You see this road, like little kind of path. You can kind of see it. We drive down that every day, right? And if we didn't drive down that, it would look like it would look like, well, not like the corn, but that grass over there. It would look like nothing's gone through it. So that well-worn path is something that we take all the time. Now, if you think about, if we were to take a different path, we'd have to figure out, okay, where's the dips, where's the holes, is there something here in the grass that I need to be aware of? Is there something that's gonna like hurt me, blah blah blah. Same mindset. So like going through carefully, but like think of the brain as a jungle, right? There's vines, there's vegetation everywhere, undergrowth everywhere. It's crazy, right? There's a lot of things that are in the ground, right? And we are traveling these pathways that have already been worn down, have already been like made available to us, like this pathway here, and walking it is easy, right? Those are our old habits. Now, when we want to make new habits, that's when we go into the uncharted territory. Like I said, that grass over there that we haven't been in, we have to be careful. We have to take precautions, and we have to make sure that when we pass through those areas, that we're clearing a path and we're making it clear for ourselves. But when we're making new habits, it's like bushwhacking with a dull machete. Like it's a lot of fucking work. It's way more work than it initially seems, right? Because you're like, oh shit, this thing's dull. Oh fuck. And then you're sitting there whacking at it and you're making a new pathway, right? And this new pathway is brand new. You have to like deliberately go in and work with, you got to work with yourself, and you have to work through the things in order to get to where you're going. You're trying to create a better life for yourself. That's change, right? That's physical change. And if you're physically changing, your ego is going to fight you back because it wants you to stay safe. It thinks that things that it can predict and control are things that are safe, right? And that includes, I mean, that you can run wild with that. Really, I'm serious, because like it literally that's how our minds work. And so when we want to change something, our ego fights back, and sometimes it fights back dirty and instills like phantom fears in us and tells us that things are going to go wrong, or that something horrible is going to happen, or that just shit that we shouldn't be thinking about, because like 90%, well, 85 to 90% of the things that we fucking think about don't even fucking come true. And if they do come true, it's not even to the severity that we think that it was going to happen in the first place. So honestly, like, why are we worrying about stuff that's not even going to fucking happen? Of course, that's easier said than done, right? Right? But our egos, that's our egos. Our egos, right? They show up and they instill these fears into us to keep us small, to keep us in the way that we used to. Because if we don't change, then in a way we are safe, but we're really not safe because we're not operating in a way that's going to best benefit us. Our egos don't care about what is best for us. All it cares about is keeping us safe. And if keeping us safe means staying in a toxic fucking situation, then it's going to want to keep us in that, right? So that's why it's really hard for people to get out of toxic situations, or get out of negative situations, get out of situations where they like know fundamentally this is bad, but it's incredibly difficult because the mind is trying to keep them in that situation. It just feels like that is safer than an unfamiliar heaven, right? Our egos are more, or humans are more prone to accept a familiar hell than to accept an unfamiliar heaven. And that's just like the basis of this section, right? Next section. So if you want to become a new person, right, you gotta like drop the old version of you. Like this is the shin. This is the skin shedding, right? And one of the honestly my favorite examples of this is a seed. If you've ever seen a seed before, it's like a little, I don't. Here, let me show you. These aren't fully processed, ready to go seeds, but they're seeds. This is a seed. This is one seed. No. This is one seed. Right? Oh shit. This is one seed, right? See that seed right there? It grows up and becomes one of these things. A big old piece of grass, right? And it makes more seeds to do the same thing. Of course, I just ripped this out of the ground. Well, not out of the ground, but I ripped it. But anywho, that's what it becomes, right? So it becomes that, right? And it was that little tiny little thing that you saw, right? It can't become that if it stays a tiny little seed, right? Like it can't do that. So what it does is it breaks out of that shell and it destroys its old self and becomes what it's meant to become, which is this Johnson grass, or whatever the fuck you want to call that. It's everywhere. Anyway. And it's very, very aggressive grass. Anywho. But it wants to become that, right? It wants to do that. It wants to take over. That's what it wants to do. I don't know if it's invasive or not. If it is, I'll put it up here. I don't remember. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah. You can't become something new if you're not willing to shed that old skin or shed that old version of you to become that new thing, because you can't become the new thing if you're still holding on to this old stuff. Like, think about the first day of kindergarten. You got to go to kindergarten, right? Well, I mean, I don't know, if you whatever, public school. You have to leave home, right? You have to leave home to go to school. You can't stay at home unless you're getting homeschooled. It's a different story, whatever. Okay, but let's say you're leaving the house. Let's just say leaving the house in general, because I feel like that's more relatable. I don't know if I don't know, for some reason I feel like I'm speaking to a bunch of homeschooled people. I don't know why. I don't know. So I'm getting so let's say you got to leave the house to go to the store. You can't take the house with you unless you live in an RV or something. I don't know. You can't take the house with you. You have to leave. You have to leave. You have to or put on clothes. You can't go out to the store in your chonies. You can't go in your underwear. Like, you gotta like put some clothes on or something, anything. Like, this is even more acceptable than just walking around with like nothing, right? So like you gotta like change what you gotta change to go. And you can't stay in the house to go unless, of course, you Instacart, whatever, whatever. Okay. Anyway, all right. You gotta change. You have to leave the past behind you. You can't take it with you. You have to like leave it to go do the thing. Of course, you can come back to it, but I mean, of course, we're not talking about coming back to our old selves. We're talking about burning it in the fire, because like we gotta let it go if we're gonna become this new version of ourselves, right? So leaving your past behind, you can't bring the old version of yourself into your highest timeline when you're being hyper independent or people pleasing becomes your like internal, because it becomes your like your literal and internal technically eternal prison. Because if you're people pleasing, right, and you're like being hyper independence is like, I don't need anything, I don't need nobody, like fuck you. Well, not really, but like that's the gist of it. And being a people pleaser, like, you're literally bending over backwards and doing everything for other people so that they're okay, so that you feel okay. And that's not how that works. Like, you can't control anything outside of yourself, including other people, right? So why would you sit there and like try your damnedest to change somebody else when they clearly don't want to be changed, or they're not ready to be changed, or they're not ready to change, because it's up to them to make that decision. Just like it's up to you to be like, hey, I want to step into a new version of myself. That's why you're here. I'm assuming that's why you're here watching this video. If you're here, leave a paperclip down below, because paperclips are cool. Anyway, so what I want you guys to focus on, right? Because this is all about radical change, right? And going through things quickly. Because recently I went through something very quickly that made me change who I am, like fundamentally, because I was like, this is a boundary I didn't know I had, and now I need to enforce it, and now I need to stand by it, because this is what's bringing me peace. This is what's bringing me happiness. This is what's bringing me closer to the person that I want to be, by enforcing these boundaries, because I'm not going to tolerate that no more, right? I'm not going to tolerate that. And in the blog post, I talk more specifically about like different things we don't have tolerance to, and different ways that we show up in situations that are unsavory or detrimental to our health, mental, physical, social health, right? So definitely, like I said, there's more specifics, more details in the blog post. Please go check it out. But one of the things that you can do to regulate yourself in real time is to breathe, right? To just fucking breathe. Take long, deep breaths and inhales and exhales. Because the longer the exhale, the more safe your body will start to feel. And the more times you do this, the more safety will begin to build up in your system. Because when you exhale for a long time, it signals to your nervous system, which controls fucking everything, how you experience the world and how you experience your internal world too. When you take that time to breathe, that long exhale, it actually tells your nervous system that, hey, we're safe. We're safe enough to take a long exhale. Like, we don't have to go, which is a panic, right? It's going to make your heart pound. I can actually feel my heart speeding up just doing that. But doing a it brings you so much more peace. And of course, there's different breathing techniques that you can be doing. I talk about it in other videos. If I remember the video, I'll have it linked up here so you can see that in the blog post down below, so you can go read it. And yeah, so you guys are set, because like grounding is the biggest thing that you can do. Breathing is one of those things, and breath work, intentional and deliberate breathing is breath work, right? And it's a part of grounding. Like, literally, I'm out here right now, I have no shoes on. I like, while I was writing the blog post, which was literally like not even like 20 minutes, like 30 minutes ago, I got this information that like sent me in fucking orbit. So I had to ground myself. I'm literally outside, no shoes, right? I'm not gonna sit there and show you guys my fucking dogs, but I'm outside barefoot because it's a part of grounding. Like literally just being on bare earth, like it's grass, bare earth grass, or in the water, whatever. That's part of grounding because like we come from this. This is what we come from, and if we're not willing to like, I mean, you don't have to go outside barefoot. You don't have to, right? You can just go outside in your shoes, regular shoes, whatever, walk around and just exist, right? And just exist in the cosmos and walk around and just take in what's around you, or spend time with your dog or cat, non-human animals, right? No, we're not spending more time with humans, right? We're spending time with human animals because they don't have that extra forebrain activity that keeps them ungrounded. Dogs and cats are always in the present moment. Yes, they may have triggers. Yes, they may have traumas, just like we do. But for the most part, they are always in the present moment. That's why they're not constantly like, oh my God. Of course, there's always exceptions to the rule. I've seen very anxious dogs who are anxious all the time. And unfortunately, that's how some people operate too. So, but anywho, spending time with non-human animals is how you're going to, if you don't have access to like like regular, natural, everyday, not everyday, but like life, like outside of your house, breathing, that, spending time with animals, going outside. And when you go outside, don't just go outside for like 2 seconds and come back in. No. You need to be outside for at least 30 minutes. At least 30 minutes, right? At least. You can sit on your porch. I don't care what you do. You can sit in your car. Well, don't sit in your car, but like maybe sit in the car with the windows down. Maybe if it's too hot, I don't know, windows up. But I don't know. Whatever. Whatever works for you. And then also like somatic movements. I dance to ground sometimes. Like I like to dance. It's something I like to do. Walking is great. Is a great somatic exercise. Like when you're taking intentional steps. Like I said last week, I believe, when I was talking about grounding, like when you're walking, like you're thinking about how it feels when your foot hits the ground and rolls up, and the weight of your body as you're walking, right? And you're in tune with that, so you can see if there's something you need to do. Maybe you need to stretch. Maybe you need to do something else in order to also help ground yourself. And while you're walking and moving, just moving around and thinking about how you're moving, that in itself aids you in your grounding process, because it's going to help you figure out, what do I need to do in order to show up for myself in this moment. And that's another thing. You need to start checking in with yourself all the time, without fail. I'm sorry. Like you gotta ground yourself. You should be grounding yourself continuously. You should be checking in with yourself continuously. You are your own best friend, your own partner, your own everything, right? So only you can show up in ways that you can show up for yourself. No one else is gonna sit there and do this for you. And if they do, like, good for them, but they should be paying attention to themselves, right? But I got 4 questions for you that you should be asking yourself daily. Multiple times a day, preferably, but you should be at least daily asking yourself these questions. But the last question, honestly, you want to just stick to that one. It's a pretty good question. But anyway, the first one is, how do I feel right now? Right? How do you feel? Not how does this other person feel? How does this person feel? How do you feel right now in this situation? Maybe with somebody else. How do you feel with that person? How does that person make you feel? Not how do you make them feel? We don't care about them. I'm not saying we don't care about them, but in this moment, we're focused on you, not them, right? It's not about them. It's all about you, because this is your life. Like, the fuck, right? Second question. What do I need in this exact moment to feel support? What do I need in this exact moment to support myself, right? Do I need to go for a walk? Do I need to take breaths? Do I need to breathe? That's what I just said twice. And do that for yourself. Like if you need a hug yourself. Maybe you need to like just speak your stuff out loud. Maybe you need to write it down. I don't know. It's whatever you need in that moment, right? Third question. How do I want to be at the end of the day, right? Like, sorry, not who do I want to be at the end of the day? Well, same thing, kind of. Who do you want to be, right? At the end of your life, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be at peace? Do you want to be grounded? Do you want to be living your best life? Do you want to be, upholding all your boundaries, being like a great grade A human being for yourself? I don't know. I'm just saying things that may sound right to you. I don't know. But like, who do you want to be at the end of the day? And then take those steps to become that person, because you're trying to become a new person. You're trying to become the person that you desire to be. And then the last question, like I said, it's a wallop question. It's a great question. Honestly, this question I ask myself quite often because yeah, anyway, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Fourth question is, what is physically happening right now, and what do I actually have control over, right? And this is the second part is kind of a trick question. It's more of a reminder that you are only in control of yourself. Like I said earlier in this video, you're only in control of yourself and what you do. So you're not in control of anybody else, not your partner, not your kids. I mean, seriously, not your kids, not your parents, co-workers, nobody. Like, not even your fucking dog, really, to an extent. Like, you're not in control of what they do. You're not. I mean, like, of course, you can train your dog not to do certain things, right? But for the most part, you can't tell the dog what to think. You can't tell the dog how to feel. You can't, you know what I mean? That kind of thing, right? So, same thing goes and applies for everybody else, right? You cannot control anybody else. You can only control your actions and what you do, and that's how you show up for yourself every single day. Is just controlling your. And then also at the same time, remember, because I said that your ego likes things it can control. Your ego likes things it can control. So when you remind yourself, oh, I can only control myself, that gives your ego like, oh shit, I have control over something. That means I don't have to sit there and be like, I need. No, you can control yourself. You can do what you got to do right here in this moment, and it brings more confidence back to yourself. It also brings a sense of self. I want to say integrity, but I really feel like it's more of self trust and support to be able to control yourself and to take control of your life. Do that. Like literally, like you can like make the decisions, right? Like, so only you can control yourself, right? I mean, I hope that makes sense. It should make sense. I don't know why I'm saying that. So I just need you guys to trust the heat, because when you're in the middle of the transitions from the people pleasing, from the behaviors that are not helping you, it fucking hurts. It causes friction on the way out. It feels like you're doing something horribly wrong, but in reality, you're doing something perfectly right, right? Like it's all a part of the process. It's all a part of who you are. And I know I've been going between being super satisfied and happy that I stood up for myself, and also being extremely upset and discouraged that I stood up for myself. So just realize, like, you're gonna feel duality. Like I said, we're creatures. Like I've been saying, we're creatures of duality. We're gonna feel both sides of the spectrum. There's no way to get around that. We're humans, and as humans, we experience a plethora of feelings and emotions. So just stick with yourself and remember to check in with yourself, because you're the only person that can be your true partner in life, right? You're always going to be with yourself. Like, why rob yourself of that connection when you can have it right now, right here, right now, in this very moment? Like, seriously, like, give yourself a nice. I would hug about the mic, but give yourself a nice hug and tell yourself that you love yourself, right? Because like, what else are you supposed to do? I mean, of course, besides get on with the rest of your day, but obviously take this information as it take this information as it comes to you. Take this information and do as you will with it. I'm just here to guide you. I'm not here to tell you what to do, and I'm certainly not here to like coach you. But if this helps you, please leave a comment down below. I would love to know who you are, and I would love to know that it's helping, because that inspires me to continue. And if you felt like, if you feel like this is great and this is wonderful, then hold your horses, because I got a prompt for you that I want you to answer down below so we can talk, because this is community. It's supposed to be a safe space. I want you guys to express yourselves as much as I'm expressing, and maybe more. So in what areas in your life is the old script currently collapsing, and what is one small grounding action you can take today to support your nervous system through the fire? Because as that old skin is burning away, like I said, it's going to feel like hell. It's going to feel like awful. And you just got to sit there and stick it with yourself. And you got to tell yourself, hey, I'm going to be here and I'm going to support you and I'm going to do these things for you, because I know what it is I want to accomplish at the end of the day, right? No one else can tell you that. No one can say that, set that standard for you. Only you can set that standard for you. So yeah, leave your comments down below. For me, like I said earlier, I literally, the information I got, I planted my feet on the ground while I was typing, back straight, took some deep, good breaths, and I had acid reflux. So I had to take some Tums, and I was fine. I don't usually get acid reflux like at all, but it happened. I'm learning every day. It's a learning process. Just because I know how my body shows up in other situations, doesn't mean I know how it's always going to show up in those situations. Like, things change. Our bodies change, especially as we get older, right? So if you guys found any value in any of this and you want to support me monetarily, not just with comments, then please do so. You can find that in the link tree down below. There is a support me button. It should be at the very bottom, because it's not the most important thing to me, but I also would love to get paid to do this, and this shit does cost money, so help with that is very much appreciated. So if you will feel led to do that, go ahead and do that. It's supporting the page directly. I'm not using this for me. I'm literally using it for a mindful adventure, for the website, for social media. Not really social media, but for the website, you know, and all the other things that come with that, because there's subscriptions that I gotta pay for, right? To keep that shit running, right? And of course, all the other links and stuff for social media will be on the channel, and you can find it in the link tree, because you'll find it as you're scrolling through. All the channel, all the links to social media there you can find, and other resources, of course. And like I said, if I mentioned the blog post earlier, then that will be down below, and you can go read it. Or of course, the video that's associated will be up here, so you can click that as it came up in the video. And of course, the link to the video will be in the bottom of the blog post. So whatever you do, however you go, you will find what you're looking for. The website has so many resources on it. Please go look at it. You're doing yourself a disservice by not looking at it. I promise you, it's going to be worth your time. I love you guys so very much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, guys.